Hello, ladies and gentlemen, captives and shadowlings alike. Today, I want to talk about something that has just recently, well, has been on my mind for the past week or so, and that has to do with YouTube's new policy, which is inauthentic content. Now, what that means, and honestly, I'm very frustrated at the idea of it, that it has set me back quite some time, and I don't honestly know if I'm going to continue using this platform as a way of sharing content or making videos for people to view. Now, with the policy such as the inauthentic content, that means that YouTube is basically telling me that I am producing mass content that's basically the same thing without any actual value or educational value. My videos have never been about education. My videos have been about doing improvs of silly little things, such as a yandere named Sky who kidnaps unwilling people, females specifically, or just the listener in general, because that's the point of these readings. And due to the factor that YouTube, its human and robotic reviewers seem to be making a lot of mistakes with this platform, and only the ones that are actually really, really up there in YouTube don't really get affected by this, such as small-time YouTubers like me. Other people who are just trying to get up there are getting affected by this inauthentic content border that has been going around as of late for YouTube. Now, I understand this started early of 2026. I get that. But it just, to me, it just seems a little unfair, especially for everybody. Now, I'm not saying that, it's unfair for those who use AI or make content using AI voices, AI images, or AI generated animations. I feel like more or less that kind of ruins YouTube a little bit, unless, you're using it for comedic value. Which I've seen a couple of YouTubers, I'm not going to name as such, but I've seen a couple of YouTubers that, are quite funny and quite creative using AI. And one YouTuber that I am really afraid of losing their channel or losing creating their content, I don't even want to name them either, because, I've been following them for quite some time now. And it's one of those stupid little AI president things where they smoke weed and do crazy little things, which I think is really funny. Other than that, getting back to my content has never been repetitive. My content has never been inauthentic. It has always been creative, has always been from just what I do on the spot, what I can do on the spot, and how I can do it on the spot. Like I said, everything has been completely improv. Everything has been made up on the spot, made up in my own brain, and forced out through my throat from my larynx and audibly to you guys and gals and shadowlings and captives and ladies and gentlemen alike. Like I said, I am completely just, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't want to give up on YouTube as a career. I don't want to give up on many of my viewers as people who are my fans, and I understand that losing the ability of having the YouTube partnership program has taken quite a toll on me, although I understand that I haven't really been uploading as of for months or a year on end, and I get that. And I do terribly apologize for it. But at the same time, I might not stick to this platform, like I said before. So I might end up going to either Rumble, Kick, Twitch, other live things or platforms where I can post my videos and, at least try to bring in a subscribership, a viewership, and try to at least gain some kind of monetization through making content. Especially when most of that money that I do earn from making videos has gone forth to getting better equipment. Yes, I work a job just like everybody else. I am not completely 100% with YouTube and making that my penultimate career, which I do because it would seem nice to get up, do what you want, put up a video whenever you want, do as many as videos as you want, and bam, that's your career right there. I mean, of course, you gotta go on the exception of like what kind of content you can create or in order to avoid being considered inauthentic. So, ladies and gentlemen, shadowlings, captives, I am not quite sure on how I'm going to represent, deal, or go from here with this platform. Just wish me luck for the best. The Stalker series is still going to come out regardless if I'm getting monetized for it or not. So, I'm not quitting on my content. I'm just quitting on the platform. That's a give or take situation there. So, I'm sorry, everybody. Things are going to continue going quite slow for the meantime. And I want to say I'm sorry. At the same time, I want to say that there is a lot of unfairness that goes on with YouTube. And I just wish they would stop popularizing like higher up YouTubers and take a little more consideration to the low content creators, the low subscriber YouTubers, those kinds of people such as myself and others that I've been watching coming up and this and that. But like I said, I'm gonna try. I'm going to try, but I cannot promise anything to any of you, ladies and gentlemen, captives and shadowlings alike.